Hello everybody, it's Bill, it's that college football guy here in another video. Well, it's time for the big one, week 2 recap, isn't it? We got a lot to get into this one. We got the good, the bad, and the what the blue hell. We've got redo that top 25, my top 25 for week 2. Also got the subscriber rankings, which remember we do every 2 weeks, so it's going to have points for week 0, week 1, and week 2. So we had a lot of movement there. So first off, let's get into the games. First off, subscriber school-wise, let's give a shout-out to all the subscriber schools that won: Georgia, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Penn State, Miami, Tennessee, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Illinois, Arizona, Iowa State, Louisville, Clemson, Minnesota, Rutgers, UNLV, Washington, Toledo, North Carolina, West Virginia, East Carolina, Ohio, Coastal Carolina, TCU, Washington State, and Fresno State. Well, we have a lot of good and we have a lot of bad. Actually, with the good, though, who are the good? Texas beating up on Michigan. Quinn Ewers had a 3 team, but they went 31-12. They just handled business. There were 3 games where teams handled business. Texas, actually, well, 2 really, and the third was kind of there is 3 really. Texas beating Michigan. Clemson beating out of. I had Appalachian State possibly covering the spread against Clemson. Clemson had other plans. They win 66-20, 56-13 at the half. They want to prove the fact that the Georgia game wasn't a fluke. They handled business. They looked damn good. And of course, my Vols beating up on NC State. I was just watching it and I'm like, NC State, what happened? But my Vols, they did a phenomenal job. Am I sold on Nico being the savior? No, I'm not, because he's young. He's a freshman, so give him time. But they did well. And Nebraska beating up on Colorado 28-10. 28-0 at the half. They just did a great game. And now we're going to do some special shout-outs. Vandy! Remember last week I had a shout-out? Well, Vandy beat Alcorn State 55-0. Proved it 2-0. Boston College beat Duquesne 56-0. Texas State was supposed to be in a heavy dogfight with UTSA. They had other plans. They won 49-10. And Washington State beating Texas Tech 37-16. I think it's Mateer is your guys' quarterback's name. He's a dual threat problem. He's been making some plays. And UNLV, even though I had a little bit of problem with it, I shouted it out on Twitter, on X, because about UNLV you beat Utah Tech 72-14. But Sluka is hitting the Mendoza line in terms of completion percentage. You're hovering at 50%. You beat Houston, who's a bad G5. You beat up on Utah Tech. But what happens when you play these other schools in the Mountain West? You're going to have some problems. All right, the bad. Well, the bad on here was 3 schools, really. Michigan, NC State, and Colorado. Michigan's been beat to death. They just were overmatched, completely overmatched in that game. You could say the same thing for Colorado. They were completely overmatched in that game. NC State just... your offense just disappeared. And I said this on there. It was like people were coming after and saying things about me on Twitter, on X, was saying, hey, you're in Tennessee, you're in NC State. Nico's never faced a defense like that. I'm like, yeah, Grayson McCall was at Coastal Carolina. He's never faced a defense like this either. So they're both of them in the same boat with the same problem. Except it turns out that Grayson had a bigger problem. Now, who are the schools that won but didn't look good doing it? Oregon beating Boise State 37-34. It was 24-14 Boise at the half. You guys came back and win. Oregon, what the hell's going on? You barely beat Idaho, and then you barely beat Boise. Penn State, you thought you were out on this one. Beat Bowling Green 34-27. It was 24-20 Bowling Green at the half. You guys kicked it into gear and won it late, but you did not look good. Steve from the Big Mountain, this is your school. I'm looking forward to you explaining what happened here. Oklahoma beat Houston 16-12. We knew Houston was bad because UNLV beat them up. Houston scoring 12 points. Okay, we kind of figured that. Oklahoma scoring 16. That's a major problem. It was 10-6 Oklahoma at the half. Where's the offense gone? What the hell's going on? Defense showed up. Brent Venables did his defense, but the offense is absent, and that's a problem. Kansas State survives Tulane 34-27. It was 20-10. Tulane at half. Man, that was just crazy. And one who I thought was going to be at the G5 one here that didn't look good, James Madison against Gardner-Webb. I thought James Madison was going to be the usual powerhouse G5 program. So you beat him 13-6. It was 7-0 Gardner-Webb at the half. An FCS school was beating you. All right. Now, what the blue hell? Penn State was almost on what the blue hell if they would have. Actually, Penn State would have been on what the blue hell if they would have lost. We're kidding here. Georgia Tech losing to Syracuse almost went to blue hell. Almost went there. But I expected them to lose, so that's not there. Auburn losing to Cal. They almost lost to Cal again last year. So even though they're favored to win, it didn't mean that much of a shocking value. Mississippi State losing to Arizona State. This is one of the worst teams in the Big 12 versus one of the worst teams in the SEC. That isn't in there. Wyoming losing to Idaho. I got to admit, this pissed me off. So I had a big thing in JY from the Mountain. Yours, Big Mountain, you're going to be explaining this one. But then you look at Idaho and you think about, wait a minute. They played Oregon close, and then they beat up on Wyoming, who's supposed to be one of the better G5s. Maybe Idaho isn't so bad after all. And they've been an FCS playoff team. I mean, they keep playing like they did against Oregon. I looked at that; like they could be in the. I mean, if they made it the semifinals of the FCS tournament, FCS championship, it would not surprise me in the least the way they're playing. But there's only one school that went to blue hell, and of course we know about, ironically, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Yes, I went there, losing to Northern Illinois, 16-14. Okay, Northern Illinois scoring 16 points. That actually would pretty well go along with everybody thought here. But then Notre Dame scoring 14 in front of nearly 70,000 people at home in South Bend. What are you doing? Penn State fell victim to this. This is the one thing that's kind of funny here. The MAC is doing a pretty good showing of themselves, aren't they? Because Bowling Green nearly beats Penn State, and another MAC school, Northern Illinois, now climbed to 2-0, beats Notre Dame. What do we say about this one for the Blue Hill? Riley Leonard, I was completely wrong about him. You are an athletic game manager. That's all the hell you are. You are not a playmaker. I'm sorry. 20 of 32, 162 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 INTs. That's not it. What was the story of this game? The defense. Northern Illinois' defense, 2 pass deflections, 2 picks, 2 sacks. Notre Dame's defense, 2 pass deflections, no picks, no sacks. You have a G5 offensive line, and you can't get 1 sack on it. 1. You can't get 1. You can't get 1 sack. What the blue hell, dude? What happened? Somebody, better than me, can explain this, please. Let me know down in the comments. All right. It was also kind of funny, but it also pissed me off because you guys shouldn't have been doing that. All right, it's time for that top 25. My top 25 for week 3 of this college football season. First off, I'm doing this like I did last week. After this week, though, I'm not doing this again. The point chart, I'll put it up. I'll pin it at the top comment in this video. I'm going to put up on there's like basically the top 25 goes. If you're number 1, you're worth 1 point. If you're number 25, you're worth 25 points. Wins take points off of your score. Losses add points to your score. But not all wins and not all losses are created equal. Like win-wise, if I call it a blowout as 18 points or more. If you blow out a top 5 school, that's minus 10. If you only beat a top 5, which is 17 or less, it's minus 8. If you blow out a top 25, it's minus 8. If you beat a top 25, it's minus 6. Get where we're going here? Blowing out a power 5 is minus 6. Beating a power 5 is minus 4. Blowing out a G5 is minus 4. Beating a G5 is minus 2. Blowing out an FCS school is minus 2. And beating an FCS school is 0. If you can't beat an FCS school by at least 18 points, there's a problem. And a bye week, you get 0 points. I don't give credits for bye weeks. I don't do that Because the fact is, oh, we took advantage of, we didn't play. It says, yeah, you're going to lose a spot now, but when they have their bye week, you're going to pass them back. It balances out in the end, okay? So, loss-wise, conversely, losses at your score. So if you lose to a top 5 school by less than 17, you only have +2 added to your score. A blowout loss to a top 5 is +4. Losing to a top 25 is +4. Blowout loss to a top 25 is +6. A loss to a Power 4 school is +6. Blowout loss to a Power 4 school is +8. Losing to a G5 is +8. Blowout loss to a G5 is +10. Loss to an FCS school is +10. Blowout loss to an FCS school is +12. So in other words, most likely, you get a blowout loss to an FCS school, kiss your spot in the top 25 goodbye if you had one. All right. Now let's go through the top 25 from last week. Rehash this real quick. And we had, I'm not going to go into all of things like the others who are receiving votes, but my little thing here, because I usually try to keep 26 to 35 based on the point thing, because I do basically a 50. But number 1 last week was Georgia, 2 Ohio State, 3 Texas, 4 Penn State, 5 Alabama, 6 Oregon, 7 Notre Dame. That's going to change. 8 USC, 9 Ole Miss, 10 Oklahoma, 11 Missouri, 12 Michigan, 13 Utah, 14 Miami, 15 LSU, 16 Oklahoma State, 17 Tennessee, 18 Kansas, 19 Kansas State, 20 Georgia Tech, 21 Arizona, 22 Iowa, 23 Clemson, 24 Florida State, 25 NC State. So what happened this week? Well, we have a new one. Thanks to their blowout win over Michigan, Texas, the Longhorns are your new number 1, up 2 spots from last week. Holding steady number 2 again is Ohio State. Down 2 spots to number 3 is Georgia. Up 1 spot, we had up 1 spot to number 4 is Alabama. Down 1 spot to number 5 is Penn State. I debated on putting Alabama in the not looking good bit because for 3 quarters you didn't look good and then you pulled away late. But the fact is you pulled away late. You didn't look good for Alabama fan standards, but you did pull away late. If you kept going the whole way, you would have been on one but not looking good. But Penn State down 1 spot to number 5. Up 2 spots to number 6 is USC. Down 1 spot to number 7 is Oregon. Up 1 spot to number 8 is Ole Miss. Up 1 spot to number 9 is Oklahoma. Up 1 spot to number 10 is Missouri. Up 6 spots, biggest climb of the week, to number 11 is Tennessee. Up 1 spot to number 12 is Utah. Up 3 spots to number 13 is Oklahoma State. Holding steady at 14 and 15 is Miami and LSU. Down 9 spots, the biggest drop of the week, to number 16 is Notre Dame. No shock there. Number 17, down 5 spots, is Michigan. Let's see. Up 1 spot to number 18 is Kansas State. Down 4 spots to number 19 is Clemson. Up 1 spot to number 20 is Arizona. Back-to-back debuts in the top 25. One I should have had on earlier, but, it just the way I'm a lot of people's underselling them. I'm not underselling them anymore. They proved to me they could. Debuting at number 21 is Louisville, and also debuting at number 22 is Boston College, thanks to their win. Climbing 1 spot to number 23 is Florida State. They didn't play. Normally you drop, but because other people did other things, that's happened. Down 6 spots to number 24 is Kansas, and down 5 spots to number 25 is Georgia Tech. Barely hanging on to that spot, Georgia Tech is. So that's our top 25. Recapping: Texas, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Penn State, USC, Oregon, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee, Utah, Oklahoma State, Miami, LSU, Notre Dame, Michigan, Kansas State, Clemson, Arizona, Louisville, Boston College, Florida State, Kansas, Georgia Tech. And then we have the others receiving votes, which I'm not going to really go into right now because had a 4-way tie for 35th place. Bunch of stuff happening. But anyway, now let's go to the preseason subscriber rankings. These were all 45 subscriber schools that I ranked in the preseason, and they used the same point chart that I used for the top 25 is used here. Same one. Now, preseason rankings, because I didn't do one after week 0. I do them every 2 weeks. So you get one after the end of, after you get one preseason, you get your next one 2 weeks game, week 3, week 5, week 7, week 9, week 11, week 13, week 15. You get the way it's going. But this year we have an extra bye week, so we're going to have the last one because of how the games go. We're actually going to have 2 games, because we had the extra bye week this year, 2 weeks extra games, the conference championship, and the bowl game. Now, normally I would on there, so this one's going to be a little different, is should I combine all 4, or do you only do the end of the regular season and the bowls? And the regular season, since we have the extra 2 weeks, it'll be the extra week, and then do the bowls and that, and then it's going to be kind of a different thing to do it, or combine it all together for one big shot at the end. You need to let me know what you know. Think about that in the comments. I'll remind you that out the year. But the subscriber top 45. Number 1, Georgia. 2, Ohio State. 3, Ole Miss. 4, Penn State. 5, Notre Dame. 6, Florida State. 7, Oklahoma State. 8, Tennessee. 9, Miami. 10, Clemson. 11, Kansas State. 12, NC State. 13, Iowa. 14, West Virginia. 15, Louisville. 16, TCU. 17, Washington. 18, Iowa State. 19, Boise State. 20, Arizona. 21, Auburn. 22, Rutgers. 23, Toledo. 24, Illinois. 25, Fresno State. 26, Colorado. 27, Coastal Carolina. 28, Minnesota. 29, Northwestern. 30, South Florida. 31, Baylor. 32, Wyoming. 33, Washington State. 34, UNLV. 35, Ohio. 36, Cincinnati. 37, Houston. 38, Bowling Green. 39, East Carolina. 40, Middle Tennessee State. 41, Hawaii. 42, Marshall. 43, San Diego State. 44, UTEP. 45, Nevada. How did we do here? Well, number 1 last week was Georgia, and after what they've done, they are still our number 1, holding steady number 1. Up 2 spots to number 2 in the subscriber rankings is Penn State. They're now number 2. Down a spot to number 3 is Ohio State. Down a spot to number 4 is Ole Miss. Up 3 spots, we have back-to-back up 3 spots. Number 5, Tennessee, and number 6, Miami. Staying strong at number 7, we have Oklahoma State. Up 3 spots to number 8 is Kansas State. Up 6 spots to number 9 is Louisville. Down 5 spots to number 10 is Notre Dame. Up 5 spots to 11 is TCU. Down 2 spots to number 12 is Clemson. Up 5 spots to 13 is Iowa State. Up 4 spots to 14 is Washington. Down 2 spots to 15 is Iowa. Up 6 spots to number 16 is Rutgers. Big jump. Up 3 spots to number 17 is Arizona. Up 6 spots to number 18 is Illinois. Down 5 spots to number 19 is West Virginia. Down 8 spots to number 20 is NC State. And biggest drop of the week, down 15 spots to number 21 is Florida State. Up 1 spot to 22 is Toledo. Up 4 spots to 23 is Coastal Carolina. Down 5 spots to number 24 is Boise State. Up 8 spots, biggest climb of the week, climbing into the top 25 of the subscriber rankings, is Washington State. Down 5 spots to number 26 is Auburn. Up 7 spots to number 27 is UNLV. 2 schools held on to their spots at 28 and 29 respectively. That's Minnesota and Northwestern. Down 5 to number 30 is Fresno State. Down 5 to 31 is Colorado. Up 7 to 32 is East Carolina. Down 2 to 33 is Baylor. Down 4 to 34 is South Florida. Up 3 to 35 is Bowling Green. Down 1 and 2 schools back-to-back down 1. 36 Ohio and 37 Cincinnati. 2 more back-to-back up 3. 38 Hawaii and 39 Marshall. Staying at number 40 is Middle Tennessee State. Down up 2 spots to 41 is San Diego State. Down 10 spots to number 42 is Wyoming. Down 6 spots to number 43 is Houston. And we had a do-si-do for the bottom. Up 1 from the basement to number 44 is Nevada. And now sliding into the basement, unfortunately, down 1 is UTEP. Yeah, so to recap the subscriber rankings. Georgia, Penn State, number 1 Georgia, 2 Penn State, 3 Ohio State, 4 Ole Miss, 5 Tennessee, 6 Miami, 7 Oklahoma State, 8 Kansas State, 9 Louisville, 10 Notre Dame, 11 TCU, 12 Clemson, 13 Iowa State, 14 Washington, 15 Iowa, 16 Rutgers, 17 Arizona, 18 Illinois, 19 West Virginia, 20 NC State, 21 Florida State, 22 Toledo, 23 Coastal Carolina, 24 Boise State, 25 Washington State, 26 Auburn, 27 UNLV, 28 Minnesota, 29 Northwestern, 30 Fresno State, 31 Colorado, 32 East Carolina, 33 Baylor, 34 South Florida, 35 Bowling Green, 36 Ohio, 37 Cincinnati, 38 Hawaii, 39 Marshall, 40 Middle Tennessee State, 41 San Diego State, 42 Wyoming, 43 Houston, 44 Nevada, and 45 UTEP. Wow, a lot to go through. We went through on it, but a lot happened. Man. Woo-wee. But what? I'm done talking on mine here. Like I said, I was hesitant. I could have put Alabama in on the win and not looking good, but you pulled away late. There's some that just, it was dogfight the whole way through. And that's not good. So you just barely missed out on that, Bama. But believe me, I was watching you. Yeah, having a power outage and watching games on your cell phone, not exactly the best thing to do, but hey, you do what you got to do. So I'm done enough talking, so why don't you let me know about everything down in the comments. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. If you haven't done it already, please do me the favor. Smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. It does help. It helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. I got told by some people who on other channels that I need to do like a catchphrase on there, make sure the people know it's watched it. I'm like, and just have them do something small. And I couldn't understand what the hell you're talking about. Like, Talking Vols, the one about Tennessee that I watched, they ask everybody, if you watched the video, make sure you watched it all the way through the end. Type GBO, Go Big Orange. But that doesn't apply here, so I'm trying to figure out if I should do that or not. I don't know. You can let me know about that in the comments. Share the video if you want to. And if you haven't done it already, first off, if you have subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But if you haven't subscribed, already, check out some of the other videos I've done. Check out some of them. See if you like what you see, like the videos. Hey, subscribe to the channel. You're on the way to 700 subscribers, slowly but surely. And that crawl to 1,000 to make some things happen. So again, thanks everybody for watching the video. I was going to include the mess about Oregon State and the Pac-12 by sources, but I realized I had so much on this, that's not going to get done. So I'm going to be recording that video after this one, but it's going to post on Tuesday because I got told on Monday. I know where I'm going because I get back late Saturday, so I'm going out on Monday, and I'm going no cell service. And I'm not going to get the signal until like Tuesday afternoon, so I figure I got to do it and upload it now while I can. So that's me looking forward. That's going to be about the Oregon State, Washington State, from Oregon, people I know inside Oregon State and Washington State, about what they're not and not doing, and about UConn. We all know that the Big 12 said no to UConn and what's going on there, and how maybe they may have to bite the bullet and put their conference, their football, to make money into a G5. But maybe not the one you think. I'll explain that there. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching the video. Hope you're having a great Sunday. This will be uploading quickly, home internet allowing. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Be safe out there. I have a neighbor across the way whose son wasn't paying attention to these small town roads in Tennessee and got peeled out of a ditch. He went to the hospital and made it, but be safe out there, okay? I know y'all know how to drive, but some of those people on the roads around you, not so much. So be safe, and please, please be good to each other.